I don't know about you, but lately it feels like there's a growing wave of man-hating in today's world. What once started as a positive movement for female empowerment, girl power, has slowly morphed into something else. Instead of promoting equality, it sometimes feels like it's turning into a man-belittling movement. Social media is flooded with posts, and countless articles seem to focus on every little thing men supposedly do wrong. These messages tell men what they shouldn't say, how they should act, and how they need to change. And often they do this in a way that tears men down, almost telling them to just deal with it and keep quiet. But when men try to share their side, even in the most respectful way, it can feel like the reaction is immediate and intense. It's as if even expressing a different perspective gets you labeled or dismissed, and the conversation becomes one-sided. Personally, I think it's about time someone spoke up for the guys. In today's video, I will be highlighting 6 things a man should never do for a woman, no matter how much love he feels. These aren't about controlling behavior or playing games, but about maintaining self-respect, boundaries, and emotional balance in your relationships. Let's get right into it. Number 1, let her guilt him into doing things. This is a classic example of emotional abuse and manipulation, and let's be clear, it's not okay. A man should never let his partner guilt trip him into doing something just because she claims it's for love. That's not how love works. Think about it. Love should be a mutual exchange of respect and care, not a weapon used to get your way. It's completely normal, admirable even, to sacrifice some of your wants and desires for your partner's needs. That's what love is all about, right? Putting each other first at times. But when those sacrifices are manipulated through tears, guilt trips, or emotional blackmail, that's where the line gets blurry. Imagine this scenario. You're sitting with your partner, and she starts to ask for something that makes you uncomfortable. You hesitate, and suddenly she's upset. Tears start flowing, and before you know it, you're doing what she asked. Not because you wanted to, but because you felt cornered. It's emotional manipulation, plain and simple. And if you keep allowing this pattern to unfold, it erodes your sense of self. You're no longer making choices out of love. You're making them out of fear or guilt. Here's the key. Recognize the difference between genuine love-driven sacrifice and manipulation. If her requests start making you feel uneasy, ask yourself, is this coming from a place of mutual respect, or is it a one-sided demand disguised as love? When love turns into a bargaining chip, that's your cue to step back and reassess. Let's make one thing clear. It's perfectly okay to say no sometimes. You have a right to your boundaries, and in a healthy relationship, your partner will respect that. If she can't, it's time to have a serious conversation. Number 2, put himself into financial ruin. It's in most men's nature to want to provide. It's part of that deep-seated desire to feel confident in your role as a protector and provider. But here's where things can go wrong. Too often, men fall into the trap of trying to meet every single material want of their partner, thinking that's the way to show love. Before you know it, you're drowning in debt, sacrificing your future financial security to make someone happy in the short term. Let's break it down. Let's say your partner loves to shop. She's eyeing the latest designer bag, the trendiest clothes, or the fanciest vacation, and you want to see her smile. So, you swipe the card again and again. But here's the harsh truth. No matter how many bags, shoes, or trips you buy, there will come a day when the credit card bills catch up with you, and that smile won't last nearly as long as the stress from the debt will. Now ask yourself, what's more heartbreaking? Telling her no sometimes and sticking to a budget, or finding yourself in financial ruin, stressed out and unable to provide even for your own basic needs? And here's the kicker. When that day comes, the tears won't be over the things she didn't get. They'll be over the fact that now you have nothing left to give. The truth is, your worth as a partner is never measured by how much you can buy. It's about who you are. It's about how you make her feel, how you support her emotionally, and the life you build together, not the stuff you collect along the way. If her love is tied to the things you can provide, rather than the person you are, then it's time to reassess. Take a moment and think about a time when you felt pressured to buy something for your partner. Were you doing it out of genuine love, or was there a feeling that you had to do it to avoid disappointment or conflict? Recognize that pressure for what it is. And remember, real love isn't measured in price tags. It's measured in respect, understanding, and a shared vision for the future, one that's financially stable. Number 3, pretend to be who he isn't. This one should be pretty straightforward, but it's worth saying. Never feel like you have to be someone you're not around the woman you love. It sounds obvious, but far too many men fall into the trap of trying to mold themselves into what they think their partner wants. Whether it's pretending to share her hobbies, acting like someone you aren't, or downplaying parts of who you are, it's a recipe for disaster. Relationships built on false identities and assumptions are like houses built on sand. They might stand for a while, but sooner or later, they'll come crashing down. Think about this for a moment. If you have to hide or alter parts of who you are just to keep your partner happy, is that really love? Is that the kind of relationship that's going to last? Because here's the thing. When the mask eventually slips, and it always does, the real you will come out. And if she doesn't love the real you, all the effort you put into pretending was for nothing. The best relationships are the ones where you can be unapologetically yourself. Imagine being able to relax, share your quirks, your passions, your opinions, without fear of judgment. That's the freedom you should feel with the woman you love. If she loves you, she'll love all of you, not just the parts you think are acceptable. Have you ever found yourself changing your behavior, interests, or even your personality to please someone you were with? If so, think about how that made you feel. Were you really comfortable? Or were you walking on eggshells, afraid that if she saw the real you, she'd walk away? Remember, if she doesn't love who you truly are, she's not worth your time, energy, or emotions. Real love is about acceptance, not expectations. So ask yourself, are you being the truest version of yourself in your relationship? And if not, what's stopping you? Number 4, give up his values and beliefs, men. This one's critical. Never ever give up your beliefs, values, or religion for a woman. Your core values are the foundation of who you are, and if she truly loves you, she'll never ask you to abandon them for her sake. It's simple. Real love doesn't demand that you sacrifice what makes you, you. The moment you feel pressured to compromise your beliefs for the sake of keeping her happy, you've crossed into dangerous territory. Let's get real for a second. Your beliefs, whether they're spiritual, moral, or personal, shape how you see the world, how you make decisions, and ultimately, how you live your life. When you start giving up those beliefs for someone else, you're not just compromising, you're losing pieces of yourself. And while relationships do require some level of compromise, your core values should never be up for negotiation. Picture this. You're in a relationship, and your partner doesn't share your beliefs. That's fine. You don't have to agree on everything to have a successful relationship. But the key is respect. She doesn't need to believe in the same things you do, but she does need to respect that those beliefs are important to you. If she can't do that, if she pushes you to change or give up something that's central to who you are, then it's time to ask yourself if this is really the kind of love you deserve. Here's the truth. If she can't love and accept you, values and all, she's not loving the real you. And that's not true love, it's convenience. A strong relationship is built on mutual respect, even if you have different worldviews. So ask yourself, are you standing firm in your beliefs, or are you bending to fit someone else's expectations? Remember, the right woman won't ask you to give up who you are. She'll love you, values and all. And that's the kind of relationship worth holding on to. Number 5, suppress his emotions. In today's society, there's this immense pressure on men to embody the stereotypical image of what it means to be manly. We've all seen it. Manliness gets painted as being rough, tough, and emotionless. But let's face it, men are just as human as women, and humans feel. The idea that men should always hide their emotions isn't just outdated, it's damaging. Yes, in public, you might feel the need to act the part, put on that stoic, strong exterior. But when it comes to the woman you love, that's where you should feel the most free to be yourself, emotions and all. She should be your safe place, the person you can turn to when you're feeling stressed, vulnerable, or even emotional. If you can't show her that side of you, who can you show? Here's the reality. Bottling up your feelings doesn't make you stronger. It makes you more disconnected, both from yourself and from the person you love. And no matter how much you try to keep it together on the outside, eventually, those unexpressed feelings will weigh you down. Let's be real. There's a huge difference between emotional strength and emotional repression. Strength is knowing when to express yourself, when to be vulnerable, and when to lean on someone else for support. Repression, on the other hand, is forcing yourself to lock everything inside because you're afraid of being seen as weak or unmanly. And the truth? The woman who truly loves you won't think you're weak at all. In fact, she'll probably respect you more for being real with her. The fact is, the right woman will never make you feel like you have to hide your emotions. Instead, she'll be the one who encourages you to express them, to be real, and to share what's on your mind and heart. And if she doesn't, if she makes you feel like you need to put on a mask of manliness to be accepted, that's not love, that's performance. Number 6, change his dreams or career. Just because a dream isn't hers doesn't mean it can't be yours. Men, listen up. You have just as much right to dream, to pursue your passions, and to follow your ambitions as anyone else. Too often in relationships, especially in romantic ones, men feel pressured to set their dreams aside, to fit into a mold that's more convenient for their partner or her family. But let me tell you, while relationships do sometimes call for sacrifices, those sacrifices should never lead to misery. Think about it. How many times have you heard of men giving up what they love or shifting their career paths because it wasn't what their partner or in-laws wanted for them? Maybe they wanted something more stable or respectable, or something that fit their image of the perfect life. But here's the thing, your dreams matter. If you're passionate about something, if it lights a fire inside you, that's something you should never give up just to please others. The woman who truly loves you will support your dreams. She'll understand that your passion is a part of who you are. If something is important to you, whether it's your career, a personal hobby, or a long-term goal, it should matter to her too. That doesn't mean she has to share the same passion or dream the same dreams, but she should respect and support your pursuit of them. The truth is, the sacrifices you make in a relationship should come from a place of mutual understanding, not from a place of obligation or pressure. And if the things that matter to you are constantly being pushed aside in favor of someone else's version of success, that's not a partnership. That's compromise at the cost of your happiness. Remember, the right partner will push you toward your dreams, not away from them. She'll stand by your side, cheer you on, and understand that your fulfillment and success are as important as hers. If she doesn't support that, it's time to reassess where you stand. So are you living for your dreams or for someone else's? If it's the latter, maybe it's time to reclaim what's yours. That brings us to the end of today's discussion. 6 things a man should never do for any woman, no matter what. If you found this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be masculine.